Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the May 17th Smackdown review, the final go-home show for Extreme Rules this Sunday. How was this go-home show compared to Raw? Raw's go-home show wasn't very great, but I still gave it a B rating, mainly because of the steel cage. I felt that was a bit of a stretch. For the main reason, you could be telegraphing exactly what you're going to be doing in Extreme Rules. That basically could have been just showing what was going to happen. So I took a guess that it would be roughly a B show, even though that was like a C+ show. The show wasn't great. And SmackDown really showed it. SmackDown was just a very mediocre, standard show, really. Every face won their match except for one group of faces, and that's mainly because they aren't seen much. So I'm going to get to that first. Usos versus The Shield, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns with Dean Ambrose by their side. It was a strange thing seeing the Usos on SmackDown. I thought, oh no, they're about the job again. Please don't tell me about the job. And they did. I did think it was a nice thing to see family together, though, because the Usos are related to Roman Reigns. They are relatives. So, in a sense, you have three relatives Samoans descended by, going up against each other. The second time, actually. Which is actually kind of nice. It's a shame that the Usos are not pushed. Roman Reigns may be pushed, but who knows how far he'll go. I may do a video on how the Shield is again after this pay-per-view to see how far they may go. But in the end, what did we get? We got a Roman Reigns spearing one of the Usos. I think it was Jay. I'm not sure. But who do we get after that happens? We get ourselves a Kofi Kingston coming out. And even though the Usos jobbed, they still won in a sense. Because the Shield has to back off from them. That's the first one I'm saying that actually the heels won their match. Even though the rest of the show, every face won their match. Now let's get to the first opening of the show. I just said this because I just wanted to let you know that at least one heel group won. Any member of heels, anyway. We got the opening of the show of a Miz TV segment. Now I felt that Miz TV with Show and Orton wasn't that great. When Zed Coulter started talking, he came out with the trucker Jack Swagger. That's when that actually became interesting to me. And if they had stopped it right there, I really believe would have made the show a lot more interesting. They didn't need Alberto Del Rio with Ricardo Rodriguez saying, the winner is Alberto Del Rio. No. They didn't need Mark Henry, which I like my Mark Henry. The strongest man there is, Mark Henry. He didn't need to be there. Sheamus definitely didn't need to be there. I know that the fight afterward wasn't too bad, but then when they went to their own individual partners, which they were supposed to, who did we get on top? It was the faces. I really felt that the segment would have been better ending with a heel. Letting a heel get the final say would have been a better showing for this show. It would have given a little bit more interest. But seeing the faces get over the heels, as usual, boring. Now, the first match that we had was the Usos. So I'm not going to go any farther with that. You already know how I feel. The second one was Primetime Players. Millions of dollars, baby. With a, Titus O'Neil, baby. Really, Darren Young, no days off. He's really like a sidekick. That's what he is. You already know that. But when they went up against Tons of Fun, as I call them, the Dancing Giants, it was the Dancing Giants who won, as usual. This entire show is meant to be for faces. The Dancing Giants is still having their feud, if you want to call it a feud, because of the pick to the throat of a Brodus Clay. I really believe this is going to go beyond Extreme Rules. I don't think they're going to be on the show. I'm going to have to check to see. Unless it's going to be a dark match. I don't think it will be. I'll be surprised if they're on the show, but they're not going to be. I'm sure of it. But I'm sure this is going to go on into maybe another pay-per-view or just before it. They'll have their little feud and then it's going to end. It was lovely to see my Naomi and my Cameron. And I still love them. And this leads me into another match, which would have been nice if the Funkadactyls had been involved in it. We got Caitlyn and Oksana, that sexy, I believe she's a Lithuanian woman, or from the Soviet Federation, I don't know where. It don't make no difference. Oksana in her nice tight clothes, always looking good. But what did we really get? The only thing that mattered was commentary. I'm bringing this in because commentary right now is a little strange. You see, we're not having just a JBL as a heel in-betweener. He does heel and face sometimes. He's an in-betweener. We actually have a Josh Matthews trying to become a heel. And unfortunately, he's not getting over because either he doesn't have the right material, he really doesn't have the right type of character for it, and pretty much Michael Cole constantly keeps burying him. We don't have that many heels anymore. The King doesn't do heels anymore. JBL is an in-betweener. We got pretty much Michael Cole, who's basically a man who just gives information, who's a face. He mainly gives information, and the WWE app is still being shoved down my throat. I want to kick Michael Cole's ass right now. I am sick of it. Seeing this is annoying me. And it goes into another match I will explain later. But the only thing that mattered in this match was commentary. Caitlyn wins, but really? What did we really get? A Josh Matthews possibly being a secret admirer? We already know who it is. I've already expressed it. I really believe it's going to be one of the Bellas, or both of them, that will get them into the title picture. So I'm going to leave it at that. Now, the Miz TV segment, that's going to lead into the next match. The Miz TV segment really wasn't that great. It wasn't bad, but not great. I think Miz doesn't really need Miz TV now. Not because he's totally over. It's just that the gimmick was used really badly. And it really needs to go away for a while. That's what I'm hoping for. They put it away for a couple of months to a year. Well, not a couple of months. Keep it away for at least a year or two. At least a year. No more Miz TV. So I really believe it would become more fresh. Right now, I'm just not interested in Miz TV like it was when it first came out. Now, I'm bringing this in because a Damien Sandow stated while he was in the presence of a Teddy Long and a Miz that he wants to do the Damien Sandow show. I'm actually interested in this. I want to see Damien Sandow do a show. But what does this lead us into? This leads us into a match between Miz and between Damien and Cody on commentary. While this commentary wasn't bad for Cody, the thing that pisses me off, like I said with the WWE app, seeing a Wade Barrett talking on a little image of a cell phone, saying you must see this if you want to know anything, you must go to the WWE app. People don't want to hear the WWE app anymore, WWE. If you want to get someone over, put them on fucking TV. This WWE app is stupid. If you care so much about a WWE app, put your entire show on it and go off of USA, go off of Sci-Fi, and go off of the CW and end it. If you care so much about the stupid app and saying that it's a new form of television. The match basically having Damien job, Cody pretty much jobbing as well because he didn't try to go and get the Miz, is the emptiness of this entire show. It's average. You letting every face win sucks. And I wasn't happy about it. Now, seeing a Fandango sighting during a Chris Jericho and Antonio Cesaro, and I feel sorry, Antonio. He had a good potential to get somewhere. Now what do we get? A cookie cutter heel that looks stupid. The jacket isn't bad. It kind of looks like a rehashing of Cody's, but the beret, and hopefully he's still not singing and yodeling, but really he just feels like an average heel that's boring. He has potential, but he's been dropped. So what do we get? Chris Jericho winning, and worse yet, a Fandango not getting over. Which in a sense is the right thing to do. Remember this, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Jericho has not looked good at all for a very long time. So seeing this was the wisest thing to do for this show. You need to make Chris look valid because he's lost so much to everybody. The problem here is that everybody else who is a face is won. So it kind of negated it. At least for me personally. It still needed to be done. And it was a good thing it was done. But it felt empty for me because everyone else won. So I was bored with it. As much as I'm glad to see him get a win. So, finally, the 6-man tag. Joe, Henry, and a Swagger, the trucker, versus the dream team of faces of Orton, Sheamus, and ADR. What do we get? Doesn't matter about the match. In the end, faces still win. Standing tall in the ring together. Going into the Go Home show with Extreme Rules. How do I rate this? C+. The only reason I give it a plus is because Chris Jericho had to win and it was necessary. Chris Jericho needed a win to look valid for Extreme Rules because he's been losing so much. What's the point? So the last thing I want to say is about Booker T and about Teddy Long. Since Booker T is currently had surgery because he had an infection, I believe, in his elbow or his bicep, that is the reason why obviously the feud between them had to be dropped. That's so sad because they could have had something good there. They could have had something that would have been interesting, but unfortunately, Booker T is not able to perform right now. Hopefully when he comes back, it'll work. So I hope you enjoyed the Zane's View. Subscribe and comment to my channel, ladies and gentlemen. I really not sure if I can do my predictions today. Unfortunately, there's some stuff I have to do. And I'll see if I can do it tomorrow. But to be honest, I'm not even sure anyone wants to see it at this time. It should have been done days ago. So I'm probably going to leave the predictions. So unless you guys want me to do it, tell me below before the end of the day when this gets uploaded. And if I can, I will do one either tomorrow or later tonight. So you have a good day and have a good night.